to start the call at least. Hi. Who's baby? There's a baby.
Yeah.
I want to hold this baby. What is this?
This is my son. It's little Cash.
Oh, okay, I'll try to focus. That's distracting. Yeah. So hi, Chris. We're very excited to have you. You have I'm Amber and Amanda. Dewey is also hosting, so we're hosting together. We have both our teams here, and we're really excited to hear about everything that you guys have done with Proving Grounds. And of course, there's some people who are so new they don't even really know, they weren't around for the original Shift Shop launch. Right. So they're excited to get to know you. I'm not going to take a lot of time because they hear from me enough. They don't want to hear me talk. So I assume you have some sort of plan, something you're going to talk about. And if you don't, just hold up the baby and we'll be fine.
Oh, sorry. So you guys is this everybody on your team, or are you expecting a couple more people?
We are expecting more people, but we'll see,
we can spend like 5 more minutes.
Okay.
That's okay. I got some time. There we go.
Someone says the link isn't working. That doesn't seem true. Because we're on.
I know I had to get a new link.
Let me try this. Let me send this to them. 8-1. It's the right one.
There we go. People popping on now.
What's your son's name?
Cash.
Oh, you said that. Sorry, I wasn't.
Yeah. Cash.
Is this your first one?
No, I got 2 boys. I have little Chris, and then I got Cash, is 5 weeks old.
Oh, 5 weeks. Clearly, I need to follow you on Instagram or something, because I don't know.
There's no pictures of him on social media.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm like, I had no idea.
Yeah, nobody knew. So only people that know is anytime I'm holding, really. I didn't post. I didn't post anything about it.
Yeah,
so yeah, I had I usually post videos of my kids and working out with them, but then I was away. I think on a Super Saturday or something like that, and little Chris was at the restaurant with his mom, and so there's a group of guys that walked by, and he was like, "Hey, that's little Chris. That's Chris Downing's son." And so his mom was like, "Do you know Chris?" And he was like, "No, I just follow him on social media. I just remember your son from being in some of his videos." And then I was like, did you look in the rearview mirror on the way home? She was like, "Why would?" I'm like, "This dude just, I don't know that guy." You know what I mean? So that kind of spooked me a little bit. So I just stopped. I just kind of, resisted posting pictures about my kids so much in videos. So that's what happened. So that's why no one really knows about Cash.
Got it. So I think that's a struggle that a lot of coaches have, actually, because we all have kids, and the kids make us relatable, but it's also, there's that security line of I almost posted a picture the other day. My kid was doing something cute in front of her preschool. And then I realized someone could recognize that mural and know that that's her preschool. And people ask me, "Oh, where did she go to school?" Casually, and I won't say.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, that's not your business, right? But there's always that line of how much do we share, and then how much do we protect our family? So
he used to be real cool, and then but then he like I said, that just kind of threw me off a little bit, just because I'm gone a lot. Last thing I wanted somebody to see, I got a newborn, and then start thinking, well, she's got to be at home. He's away. You know what I mean? So I just if you see me with him, you can guess. So
that makes sense too, because you're not it's not a secret when you're away.
No, it's not.
If you're at an event, everyone knows where you are.
That's why I just post. Why? Because someone's gonna post anyway, which you're supposed to. So I can't live in a box, but I also have to make sure, so I had to update the security in my house. I got cameras inside, outside, down the street. I got cameras everywhere.
He's like, everyone hear that? Be on alert.
Don't come to my house. Crazy. I was about to put cameras in the car. I'm like, okay, you tripping. Chill out. Yeah, so it's all good though. We live in a cul-de-sac too, so that's another thing. And they got like they're building 2 condos next to mine, and it's just these people know who I am. You know what I mean? And it's just that awkwardness. I speak to them and I offer them water, things like that. But it's just awkward when you see like construction workers and they're there all day. So they kind of know my pattern. They've seen limos pick me up. You know what I'm saying? So they kind of see the pattern, and that you never know. You just never know. So
you never know what people are thinking, or you don't know their circumstances in their life that they could be going through that might make them do something they wouldn't normally do, or be like, oh, things get tight or something gets crazy. People make poor decisions, even like bad decisions. So
anyway, all right, I think that's about. We got 24, 25 people.
We were definitely thinking there was more, but I mean,
we'll give them a couple
I only had one person say that they couldn't get on, and I just resent her the link. So
we'll give them like 4 more minutes.
Okay. She's sending me a sad face. Let's see.
Plus, this dude don't sleep at night, so whoever take him will give him right back. This dude don't sleep.
They're like, never mind. We changed our mind.
Take this guy right back.
My little one, there's that meme going around Facebook that says if you have a good first kid, be careful because you'll get your second kid will be a no limit soldier that doesn't sleep and likes to slap. I got that one first, so she's gonna be an only child because she's 20 months and still doesn't sleep through the night. She's trying to kill me.
Wow.
Too long. That's too long to live without sleep. Too long. Does someone on Amanda's team, I know Amanda had to go to her appointment, but someone on Amanda's team, is your guys' team page like everyone's able to get in? Should we start? Like anybody can make that call because I don't know. Oh, Vanessa, he's 5 weeks.
Yeah. I just had, and it's what's so cool about him is obviously I don't see him as much as his mom does and everyone else. So we got like our own little thing. So the only way he'll sleep at night is if I cuddle him. You know what I mean? So, and I was kind of concerned because I'm thinking my arms are so muscular, it's gonna hurt his neck. But no, so now we just it's like he hasn't even slept in his thing yet. So now I just cuddle him like this, and like I put him real close to me, and we just zonkers. It's the only way this dude is sleep is if I cuddle him. His mom cuddles him, and he's antsy, and she's like, "What am I supposed to do when you leave?" She's online looking at like swaddles, these little swaddles that have like a little like weight on them to kind of like reflect me, and I'm like, you can't duplicate me. So yeah, but like last night, for example, I was on 4 calls and he was fussing. I went upstairs, I just grabbed him. I looked at him, started talking to him. I take one of our big pillows and I lay it underneath him, so it looks like he's like eye level with me. So I call it his twin size bed. So it's this big pillow on top of this bed, and he was out in probably 30 seconds.
You have the magic touch.
That's what it is.
I feel like if my husband was better at putting the baby to bed, I would just like never hold the baby again. I'd be like, well, here, you should always.
That's it.
Always sleep with her.
That's beautiful. All right. So I'll tell you what. That's what we'll do. We'll get started. You got it recorded? Good.
Yeah. Amanda hit record before she stepped out. So.
All right. So I saw the description and, based on what the teams struggle with. And so I don't know. I kind of have a little bit of a different approach. So I've probably done probably 80 calls in about 2 weeks, about almost 3 weeks.
Oh my goodness.
So, yeah, I've done a lot. And what I did is I just kind of look at, I'm on a different screen with different people every day, right? And I love my program. I think my program is great. I hope you guys like it. But for me at this point, I just think there's a much deeper thing we should focus on before we focus on my program. And that's getting you guys to a great foundation in self-belief. Because you know what, honestly, I don't care about breaking records. I don't care about sales. I don't care about none of that stuff. I just to me, that's not like a priority to me. But priority to me is, we call ourselves a team, right? Well, I struggle when I see, how my life's changed since, joining Beachbody. But then I'm looking at the network and I'm seeing people struggling. Like, to me, that ain't success. Success, I've always been taught, from my grandma, is true success is when it leaves your house and going somewhere else's, right? So I'm thinking, like, how am I succeeding and they're not? Like, that's a problem to me. So about 10 months ago, I made a decision. I said, you know what? I'm getting off this platform and I'm going down there with them, because a true leader is somebody who, walks with his people, walks in front of his people to guide them, and then walks above his people. And when I say above, most people lose it right there. They disconnect, because when they get above somebody, they kind of look down on that person like they're not on their level. What a true leader will look down and pull you up to his level so you can see what he see. Because oftentimes it's really hard to see at the bottom where the struggle is and the chaos and, the depression, anxiety. It's just very chaotic ground level, right? So it's like, for me, it just makes sense to try to get into the mindsets of you guys so I can kind of show you, what you're really capable of. And this is not a, one of those things. It's not a hocus pocus thing. This is reality. And it just doesn't, I just feel like you guys have no idea your worth and your value. Here's a person 2 years ago, I couldn't even afford to buy groceries, guys. 2 years ago, straight up. I'm getting ready to lose my home, lose both of my gyms, disconnection notices all over the place. 2 years ago. You understand what I'm saying? 2 years ago. And then I get an opportunity to, share my talent and, I put a program together. But I didn't do that by myself. There's a lot of people behind the scenes that you guys don't know about. And you'll never hear. And one of the things that frustrates me more than anything, and this is not, I'm not taking jabs at anybody. I'm just telling you through, from my expression, through my lenses, is when I see people, these programs get created, and I know what goes into it. I know how it's created. And when people don't give other people credit for what they did, I'd be the first to tell you, when Shift Shop came out, all the marketing stuff said Chris Downing, creator of Shift Shop. And I went to production. I said, you got to put a co before that creator. He was like, well, what do you mean? I said, because I didn't do it by myself. There's people behind the scenes that these people don't know about, like Elanite, Steph, Jack. You don't know about those people. You see what I'm saying? And so now I look at the big picture of it, like with Proven Grounds, and I look at the network, right? I look at you guys, and it breaks my heart, because I'm saying to myself, these guys have no idea who they are. You guys are the heartbeat of this company. You realize that, right? It's not the super trainers. It's you guys. And the truth of the matter is this: without you, we don't exist. So there's this celebrity platform where you guys see us and you idolize us and you admire us. Okay, it's nothing wrong with, loving someone's talent, right? And what it does for you. But there's got to be a fine line there where you start taking a little bit of, a little bit of responsibility for putting us on this stage. Like, you guys have a commission-based business, right? There's no promises to a paycheck at all. But then you guys as a group work so hard and you push our products, right? And you sell. And then yet you don't realize that I have 2 gyms here in Ohio. Autumn, she worked at Equinox. Joel came from Gold's Gym. It's because of you that they can live this life they're living. It's because of you that I can live the life I'm living. Or guess what? I'd be back in my gyms. She'd be in Equinox and he'd be back at Gold's Gym. How do you not take credit for that? Think about what I'm saying to you now. How do you not take credit for what you help us accomplish? And sometimes all you want is a picture. So I get agitated when I go to events. And at these events, we got handlers and we got times we got to be at certain places. And oftentimes it's hard for us to get there because, the crowds are big. But you'll never, ever, I've been late to more events than I can count. And the reason why I've been late is because I take that last picture. I was in the grocery store 5 weeks ago. He was just born. I hate the grocery store. I don't like going. I feel like it's stupid. It's a bunch of stuff in there that I really shouldn't have. And there's things in there I just don't like going. I don't like it. So, Dana goes to the grocery store. So I'm in the grocery store. I got my 2 little ones with me, and I look to the door, and I see a Shift Shop shirt, right? Now I'm paying for the groceries. I'm like, that's interesting. So as I'm walking to the door, this lady puts her hand on her mouth, started wobbling her head and doing like high knees, like she's so excited, right? And so she walks up to me and she said, I thought that was you. I didn't want to bother you because you had your kids. She said, I don't have my phone with me. I said, you don't need your phone. I grabbed my phone, right? I took a picture of us. I kissed her on her cheek, and I said, thank you. And she was like, why are you thanking me? I should be thanking you. I said, no, I'm thanking you because it's you and the rest of the network is the reason I could spend $250 at the grocery store and not even worry about it. You see what I'm saying? And I said, and she looked at me, she got teary-eyed. So you guys have no idea your worth and your value. But you see my worth and my value. You almost came out of your skin with me walking down to the leave. But how come you don't see that in yourself enough to believe in everything you can be for yourself? How come you don't believe that for yourself and your team? But you believe it for me all day. I think it's a change of perspective. I think we need to start looking at the big picture. You see what I'm saying? And how do you look at that big picture? So I want you to visualize something with me real quick. Let's just say, what if I told you I know the foundation to make your business take off? In fact, I do know, because I've been teaching coaches this and their business has been thriving. And it's so unorthodox. You're probably going to look at me like I'm crazy. You want to know the key to your business being successful? This is the golden nugget to making as much money as you want to make, taking care of your family in ways you've only dreamed of. It's called self-love. And you're like, what? What does self-love have to do with all this? It has a lot to do with it. And I'm going to explain to you why. When you love yourself, you believe in yourself. When you believe in yourself, you have confidence. When you have confidence, guess what happens? You become infectious. When you become infectious, all of your gifts and talents will surface to serve you. Like inside of all of you right now is multiple gifts. Coaching is just one of your gifts, but you have multiple gifts, right? Have you ever been somewhere and a person walks in that area, in that room, and their presence demands attention like right now? Like their presence demands attention. And you look like, whoa, like they grabbed a hold of you, right? When this person walked in, they just consumed the whole room. And you like, there's something unique about this person. I have no idea what it is, right? So let's just say it's a woman. And you walk up to this woman, and as you guys know, you guys are sneaky. You'll find a way to start a conversation. You got nice little triggers. You'll say, oh, those are some nice shoes, or that's a really nice bag. You'll find a way to start a conversation, right? And you say that, and the lady says, thank you. And you say, if you don't mind me asking, because you want to know why her presence demanded attention. Who is she? You don't mind me asking, what do you do for a living? Well, I'm a Beachbody coach. You may not even know what Beachbody coach mean. You just know it's got to mean something because of the way she just came in here and consumed this space, right? And then you're just like, oh, okay. Well, she said, well, if you want more information on here, just take my card, give me a call, let's get coffee, right? So then you call the lady, and then she starts to talk about the business. She starts talking about challenge packs, and she starts talking about, programs and working out from home. She starts giving you information about the business, right? But let me ask you a question. When she walked in that room, was she talking about challenge packs? No. Was she talking about programs? No. What did she sell when she walked in that room? She sold herself. She sold herself. She talked about challenge packs and programs second. There's no way in this world I could be the trainer I am, as impactful as I am, and have so many people gravitate to me if I didn't love myself. If I didn't believe in myself. There's boldness that comes out of my mouth at these events and on these calls that you can only say if you have confidence, right? So now let's look at your business for a second. Remember I said it was a commission-based business, right? No guaranteed paycheck. I want you to think about the first person you ever signed up as a coach. Your very first person. Type in the message box how that made you feel. Type it. How'd that make you feel the first person you ever signed up as a coach? Surprised? All right. Proud. Like I might be able to do this. Momentum. Excited. Okay. Okay. Pumped. All right. Happy, beautiful, empowered. That's what I'm talking about. There you go. Good. Okay. Happy. So you notice every response you guys just gave me, all of those emotions, where did they surface when you signed that first coach up? Within, right? You felt excited from within. You felt inspired from within. You felt empowered from within. You felt surprised from within, right? Had nothing to do with the other person. We're talking about you for a second. You're telling me all these, there's different ways it made you feel. So what happened between signing up the first coach and the 50th coach or the 100th coach? What happened? How come that, like what happened in that moment? I'll tell you what happened. You got introduced to rank. All of a sudden you start comparing yourself to other coaches, right? You start thinking about what you're not doing because they're doing it. And then somebody, dangled a carrot and said, you know what? I used to be a dental assistant, or I used to be a secretary, and I started this business, or I was a stay-home mom, and 6 months later I had a 6 month, I was growing a 6-figure income, and all of a sudden, like, whoa, you did that in 6 months. Well, guess what, guys? That ain't gonna happen for everybody. That's why the reason why I'm saying that is because that's why it's not important what somebody else is doing. That's why it's important to remember how you felt when you signed up that first coach. You understand what I'm saying? There's one common denominator that all humans have, animals have, and insects have. We all have one thing in common. And I'm talking about over the whole globe, the whole universe. Don't matter what country, don't matter what color, what religion, what size, what shape, what gender, don't even matter. There's one common denominator that binds everything together. And what is that? Love. Love creates babies. Love creates a spouse, a boyfriend, girlfriend, builds relationships. So if love is the common denominator to all humanity, insects and animals, why shouldn't love not be the foundation of your business? But that love can't be there unless you love yourself first. I'm telling you right now, I've done 80 of these calls, probably talked to over 10,000 coaches. 97% of the calls I've been on, they don't love themselves. How crazy is that? That's a proven fact. I can show you the stats. 97% of the calls that I've been on the last 2 weeks, people struggle with self-love. And you want to sell a challenge pack? You want to sell a program? I don't even want you to sell my program because I want you to take care of you first. You see what I'm saying? When you don't love yourself, guess what happens? You become pushy. You become salesy, right? And that's not what it's about. I want you guys to start loving yourself right now, right where you're at. Think about that first coach. Think about how it made you feel. Be proud of yourself. And if you ever find yourself being down, concerned about, can I really do this? Think about where you helped me come from. Think about that. When you go to my Instagram and you see almost 70-something thousand followers, you know what? You got to say, you know what? I contributed to that because we helped make him popular. You have to take credit for that stuff. And if you could do it for me, guess what? You can do so much more for yourself. I'm looking at this call on all these beautiful people with every tool you need in you right now to become whatever you desire to be. And the only person that can stop you is the person you look at in the mirror. When you look in the mirror, stop seeing your flaws, start seeing your perfection. Start loving yourself right where you're at. I had talked to a group of people who, they told me they struggle with weight. So you don't struggle with weight. You struggle with loving yourself. That's what you struggle with. The minute you start loving yourself, that's depression, anxiety, fear, and worry. The minute you lose that, the weight will fall off. That's all that is. You don't struggle with weight. You just don't love yourself enough right now. Because when you love yourself, what do? You take care of yourself. I'm holding a baby. Elizabeth's holding a baby. There isn't a person in this world right now that can make me put something bad in his body. Why is that? Because I love this little guy. I love this little guy with all my heart, right? So if I love him with all my heart, how come I ain't loving myself with all my heart? Because I got to be around to take care of him, right? So many parents focus on, giving their kids more than they had. That's crazy to me. How can you say that? And this is why I can say what I'm saying. There was a period, I have a 20-year-old, right? I had custody of her. 2 months old, I got custody of her. And I had so much stuff in my background from my past. I was molested when I was 4 and 6. My mom was a prostitute. She was a drug addict, and she wasn't in my life. And my dad was my mom. My mom was my dad's side chick. I was conceived out of adultery, so my pops wasn't in my life, right? So I was an orphan. And I grew up with so many insecurities, so many fears, so many worries, right? I grew up broken, a broken man, broken. The last time my mom spanked me, I'll never forget. I was naked and she beat me with an extension cord only because I hit her crack pipe. And I'm 21 years old. I have a daughter. I'm playing basketball, starting point guard in college. My kid is born. I didn't feel comfortable because all I could think about is my dad not being there for me. So I dropped out of college, ended up going home. Her mom was having some struggles. So I ended up getting full custody of my daughter, 2 months old. And as I'm raising my daughter, I'm raising her out of fear. Fear that she don't experience what I experienced growing up. I had a hard time leaving her with babysitters and taking her places. You know why? Because I had anchors that was holding me back. And the anchors was the molestation, the abuse from my mom, the abandonment from my dad. So I didn't even love myself, but I'm raising a child. I'm raising her on 70% of me. And it's all fear-based. First birthday, second birthday, third birthday, fourth birthday. Them anchors is coming with me. I'm taking them along the journey with me as I celebrate my daughter's birthday. When I ever at the park, they're coming with me. Chuck E. Cheese, they're coming with me. Modeling auditions, acting auditions, taking the anchors with me. And I'm fearful because I don't want my daughter to live the life that I lived. So I'm overprotective. And then I realized I'm robbing her. Subliminally, I'm going to teach her because I'm her hero. I'm her superhero. I'm her influence. Subliminally, I'm teaching her how to raise her family on 70% one day because that's all she's going to know. And energy is transferable. You don't have to see it. She can feel it because it's going to shape her personality. And one day I made a decision. I got to get this 30% back. And the only way I'm going to get this 30% is I got to forgive some people. And I told myself if I ever saw the dude that molested me, I was going to crack his face because of what he took my innocence. When I couldn't even defend myself, right? So I'm at a picnic, 4th of July, big picnic with family, big old party. I look next door, another family, big old party, having a great time, people dancing, eating ribs. I look to the left, guess who I saw? The molester. His family lived next to my aunt. And I had to make a decision right there. Is it going to be my pride or my purpose? My pride wanted to shank this dude. But my purpose was saying, dude, you need that 10%. You got a 5-year-old at home with her mom right now. You need that 10%. And that was my moment right there. I went over there. I said, man, can I talk to you for a second? And he knew who I was because he knows my family. I got the same face, guys. Just got hair on it. The exact same face. I'm Chris, man. I want to talk to you for a second. So he was a little timid, a little afraid, right? Took him away from everybody because I didn't want to embarrass him in front of anybody. I said, hey, man, always said if I ever saw you, I needed to have a conversation with you, man. So you know what you did to me when I was a kid, and you know it was wrong. I'm a big dude, so you know he's scared, right? I said, man, I just want to let you know I forgive you for what you did, man. And I just pray and hope that you never put your hands on another kid. I said, just, you ain't got to look over your shoulder. You ain't got to carry the guilt. I'm man to man. I'm letting you know that I forgive you. And he kind of dropped his head like this. But my words to me wasn't enough. I felt like I had to touch him. So I grabbed him and I hugged him, right? I hugged him because I needed that 10% back. And when I hugged him, that's when he broke. I'm really sorry, Chris. I'm ashamed. And I said, it's okay, man. You deal with that on your own time. But I just need to let you know that me and you were good, man. Take care of yourself. I walk off, I tell my aunt, I'll be back. I got to make a run. Really, I was so emotional. I just couldn't outburst in front of everybody. I got in my car, Waterworks Central, bawling my eyes out, right? Bawling my eyes out. I get home, I'm sitting there, and I'm already in this state. So I picked up my phone. First time I talked to my mom in years. I called my mom. Hey, Mom. She said, hi, how are you? I said, Mom, listen, I'm just calling you to let you know I forgive you for all the abuse and all the abandonment and all just the physical, the mental, and emotional abuse. Make up in my daughter's life what you didn't do in mine, and we're good. My mom broke down on the phone. Then I called my dad. Hadn't talked to him in years. What's up, Dad? How you doing, man? Chris, this you? I said, yeah, how you doing? Hey, man, I just want to let you know I forgive you for not being there, for not giving me the blueprint of how to be a man, not throwing the football with me. Make up in my daughter's life what you couldn't do in mine, and we're good, Dad. We're good. My dad, first time he cried in 10 years, talked about how guilty he felt, right? Got off the phone with them, Waterworks Central, still balling, right? And I'm thinking to myself, I got one more person to forgive. So I go in the bathroom. I look in the mirror, and I'm seeing these tears just pour down my face as a reflection of my pain. And I looked in the mirror, and I pointed, I forgive you. I forgive you for carrying this burden all this time. I forgive you for raising your daughter on 70% of you. I forgive you for carrying these anchors through birthdays and Chuck E. Cheese and parks and modeling auditions and acting auditions. I forgive you for never thinking you was good enough. I forgive you for struggling. I forgive you for all these things that you dealt with and all this pressure you put on yourself. And the moment I forgave myself, guess what happened? That's when I start loving myself. And when I started loving myself, all the pain that I've been through converted to passion. And that passion is what you guys see on the stage. That passion is what you're hearing on this call right now. Because in me, I know that there's a gift and a purpose to do amazing things. And those amazing things is to remove blinders off of people's eyes so they can see that according to your birthright, you can have whatever you want. It's all about loving yourself first. If I didn't love myself, there's no way I could be this impactful, guys. There's no way I could. If I didn't go back and get that 30%, there's no way I'd be this effective as a super trainer. There's just no way as a person. So what I'm telling you, and the reason why I'm not even talking about my program, is what anchors are you holding on to? And you're trying to run a business with those anchors. And you wonder why it's not going the way it's supposed to go. That's because whatever anchor that is, you're living through their lenses. You see what I'm saying? When I was going through the fear, I had that fear. That was fear from my mom. You see what I'm saying? I took on her identity in my life because those anchors was on me. So when I tell you you don't have a weight issue, you don't have a weight issue. Your business isn't struggling. No, it starts with you first. And the moment you accept you and start loving you, guess what's going to happen? We live in a broken world, guys, full of broken people. They're going to come looking for you. You know why? Because you're going to be infectious. And you have the solution to not only help them out financially, but as most importantly, as a person. That's how you grow your team. Does that make sense to you? You look at challengers. I get all these calls. Chris, can you leave a video for my challenger? Chris, can you do this for my challenger? I'm like, well, actually, here's the thing. Whatever you're struggling with your challenger, that means it's something that whatever that is, that's what you need to develop on the inside of you. A challenger is no different than a stray cat. And so, what? That's cruel. How could you say that? Let me explain to you. You ever seen a cat that's matted and dirty and just broken, right? Just a stray cat, and it's around your house, meow. And you like, I'm an animal lover. I got a heart of gold, but I'm not gonna let this cat in my house. I don't know if it has fleas. I don't know if it has. I don't know what it has. So meow. So you tell the kitty, come here, kitty. Meow. Won't come near you. So the cat must be hungry. So you go in the house and get some milk. Set some milk outside the door. As soon as you close the door, the cat looks around, goes and drinks the milk. Come out 20 minutes later, there's an empty bowl of milk, right? No problem. You did your good deed for the day. Next day, just watching your show, walking around the house, cleaning. Meow. Hear it again. Go back outside. There's the cat again. The cat remembered something. You fed him. So now the cat's on the porch. Meow. Tell him to come here. The cat takes 2 steps towards you, then stops. Don't trust you. Don't want to come. Don't know because it's been abused now. It's matted. You don't know this cat's story. So you put milk out there again. Close the door. Cat drinks the milk. Next couple days later, severe thunderstorm, hailing. You and your husband pull up. Meow. See this cat. And your heart breaks. I got to bring this cat in the house. You're not bringing that cat in the house. That cat we don't know what's up with that cat. and you plead with them. Please, I just don't want the cat to get hurt. Put the cat in the basement. So you grab the cat with a towel, put the cat in the basement in a box with some food and some more milk, and you make a little pillow with it with old towels, right? And you toss and turn and can't sleep at night. You wonder, is this cat tearing up my basement? You go downstairs, this matted, broken cat is purring and sleeping in a all curled up, purring and sleeping curled up at its worst state. So you get up the next day, you call the vet, go get the cat some shots, take the vet, get the cat groomed, hair all fixed up, and now this is your pet. Everywhere you go, the cat goes. You walk to the house, the cat greets you at the door. You watch the movie, the cat's right next to you. That's no different than a challenger. You know why? Because you don't know their story. You don't know what happened prior to them coming to you as to why they're inconsistent. Who told them they could never accomplish something? Who told them they weren't good enough? Think about that for a second. There's been a series of events that's happened prior to them coming to you that shaped their mindset. And the only reason why they came to you is because their purpose identified with your purpose. They saw hope in you, but they also have so much stuff in disbelief and doubt that they can't even fully engage in that hope unless you show them love. Some challengers, they'll hit the ground running, start growing their business. Some of them, you got to hold their hand. And that's why every program I ever create is going to be for everybody. Every fitness level, every race, everybody. You know why? Because that's how you grow your audience. You want to be a complete coach. Like I want to be a complete trainer, nothing missing, nothing broken. If I start saying my program is for certain people, guess what? I'm alienating people. I'm making people feel like they ain't good enough. The world is already doing that. We got to be different. So those challenges you facing with your challengers, look at it, celebrate that. Immediately say, you know what? This is something in me I got to work on. I got to remove the blinders off of her. I got to remove the blinders off of him. I got to love on this person a little bit because you don't know their story. But I will tell you this. Remember how I said that cat will greet you at the door? That cat will follow you around the house? I promise you right now, if you remove the blinders off your challenger's eyes through consistent love, they'll never leave you. They'll work hard because they'll want to prove to themselves that they can do it, right? And what's going to happen? When they get the confidence, they're going to start looking for people just like them. And they're going to duplicate themselves. And then they're going to duplicate themselves. Before you know it, your whole team then grew. Why? Because you started loving yourself first and everybody else afterwards. Does that make sense? So, as far as proving grounds, when 2B Mindset came out, I was in the pre-stages of developing proving grounds, right? I looked at how 2B Mindset took off. And I'm sitting there watching people argue about it. And I'm like, you guys are dumb. This is brilliant. Like, this is brilliant. That's a whole group of people that nobody's talking to. How do you not compliment that? So that's where in Proving Grounds, I added that extra week. It was a prep week catered to the people who did 2B Mindset. It's 15 minutes. You do anything for 15 minutes. And in those 15 minutes, modify your way through it. You just move. Walk up to the marker and tap it. Walk around and tap the other one. There's no pressure to it. But to people who work out a lot, who are athletic or just train, that's 15 minutes will kick their butt because I'm pushing you in it. That makes sense? So you'll go through the whole prep week. And then every Friday and Saturday is Proving Grounds. So Proving Grounds is Friday, Proving Grounds Speed is 15 one-minute exercises. All right? Proving Grounds Strength is a series of exercises also. So with Proving Grounds Speed, you're going to track your progress. And the reason why I wanted to track it is because when I did a test back here at home, I realized adults can't count. I realized that, like, what happened? We went through all this school and we still can't count. How do you do a whole minute of an exercise and forget how many reps you had? I couldn't understand that. So I'm like, okay, this is going to work their mind and their body. So the first move is grass pickers. Let's say you get 50 grass pickers in a minute. You write on your scorecard. You do lateral burpees. You get 20. You write on your scorecard. Now you 2 exercises in, 13 left. You got 70 points. Now, all I care about is that bottom number. I don't care about it. I care about that bottom number at the end of the workout. So you go through the other 13 exercises, total points 150. Next day, go to strength, document your weights, document your reps, Baseline's done. Now you go into speed 25 week. Do speed 25 4 times. Now, when you do it, you're working on your conditioning, working on your technique and your form, because you're going to test again on Friday. You're in the shop during the week to test on the grounds Friday and Saturday. So now I'm giving you 2 different sceneries, right? So now you go back week 2 to test again. You look at your scorecard. I got 50 reps. All right, I got to beat that. So you don't beat it. You get 45 points. It's 45 reps out of 50. Now you 5 reps under prep week. I just told you all I care about was the big number, right? At the bottom, the big picture, the final number. So in your mind, you're going to say, Chris, don't care about that. I got 14 exercises to make up for these 5 reps. Now I'm teaching you how to start proving to yourself what you're capable of. Now you're engaged mentally because you don't want to do an exercise for a minute and forget your reps, because then you're going to have to rewind me and you're already tired. I'm already queuing for the next move. You're going to be a mess. So now you go through the rest of the 14 exercises, you have 165 points. Is that victory? Absolutely. Then you go into 35 series, test again Friday, Saturday. 45 series, test again Friday, Saturday. You look at your scorecard, prep week, week 2, week 3, week 4, you got better. The most powerful thing is you stayed present in those 4 weeks. Your mind didn't take off because you had to document that scorecard. So now you leave in a group in better shape with a sharper mind. Now you're approaching your family in better shape with a sharper mind. Now you work in your business in better shape, a sharper mind. Okay, Chris, what about the modifiers? Love it. This is what you're going to do. Modify the whole week and the proving grounds. Have fun. Take your time. Modify it. Week 2, going to speed 25. Let's just say you modify everything but two exercises. Is that victory? Absolutely. So you go to week 3, you modified less. Week 4, you modified even more. Is that victory? Absolutely. The whole prep week, you modified it. Speed 25, you modified less. 35, you modified even more less. 45, you modified even more. Now you got confidence. I'm going to go through it again, and this is how I'm going to track it. So now you're tracking your progress. You're getting better every week. Yeah, it took you 3 rounds to go through it, but guess what? You're in better shape, and now you have confidence. So now when you step outside that group, guess what you're going to look for? People just like you that said, I couldn't do this. I couldn't believe it. It looked too hard. The Tulins of the world. You understand what I'm saying? You can't even compete with anybody else. This is you versus you with a whole bunch of love from me in this video. This video is, I'm telling you, this program is so motivating and inspiring. I'm talking about real life situations in this video. You have no choice but to gravitate to the screen. You're going to feel like I'm standing right next to you. And the crazy part is I filmed it with a broken foot and a broken toe. So there's a lot of passion in this one. So I'm done yapping. You guys have any questions?
That was intense. I've been a coach since 2009. I don't think I've ever cried on a trainer call before. That was amazing. The comments that my text messages are blowing up, my team page blowing up, the comments here. Clearly you have done a lot of these because you knew exactly what we all needed to hear. If you guys have questions, you can chat them or you can unmute yourself, whatever you want to do. I'm not in charge of this, so you're all grown.
But you guys understand my point, though? Think about what you had to overcome as a coach to sign that one person. The first coach you signed up, you became successful. Now you got an opportunity to grow this business, determine how successful you want to be. But if you signed up one person in a commission-based business, you're successful. Don't ever forget that. Any questions?
I'm writing that down. Hold on. Does anyone have questions for Chris? Or are you all just like crying still? Because that's where. Yeah, no, everyone's just crying, apparently. Oh, Amber, you're muted. You have a question?
It looks like Carla had a question in the comments. She's in a coffee shop and it's super loud, so I'm going to ask it for her. She just said she works with a lot of runners, and she was wondering if you had any suggestions on how to adjust the program to fit a running schedule.
So you want to know what's crazy? This is going to blow your mind. I got some people here in Ohio that's doing a Boston Marathon. They're doing proving grounds, straight up. They're doing the whole Proven Grounds program. And the crazy part is the same people qualified for the Boston Marathon last year, and they did shift shop. I promise you. Because the thing about it is plyometrics, people don't know this. But plyometrics is actually really good for runners. Very good for runners. So what they did is they incorporated Shift Shop and now Proving Grounds with their running schedule. They would run, I think they ran like they did 2 days a week at Shift Shop or Proving Grounds, and then the rest with their running regimen. And it worked.
That's awesome. Yeah, we don't address the runners enough, and people sort of write them off as like, oh, I guess we can't help them.
Yeah,
and I feel like it's just not true.
Yeah.
Especially a lot of runners, they only run, and then they need cross training. They need the weights, they need the flexibility, and they need good supplements. And we just ignore them like they don't exist because we can't put them in a box of.
Proving Grounds works completely different muscles. Fast twitch, which runners need, even though they run a distance. When your big muscle groups wear down, what do you think sustaining you? Your fast twitch. They'll activate.
Nice. Anything else, you guys? I don't think anyone else.
Are you serious? I give you all that information. You don't have a question? Like what kind of toothpaste I use? Nothing?
I had not heard any of your story before, so for me that was amazing. Especially I think a lot of us get into this business when we are in hard places and we do see it as a solution, but we don't always we think it can be a solution, but we don't necessarily believe or know deeply that it can't be a solution. And I think you sharing your story of, I like that the timing, like just 2 years ago, being in the grocery store. Like it's not a long time.
No.
Keep moving forward and you take opportunities and say yes to opportunities. I think that's really, Patty wants to know, what keeps you going every day?
Man, I have a lot of things. Gratitude, first of all. Gratitude just kind of sums up everything. Because when I start in the morning, when I meditate and I pray, I don't ask for anything. I just don't. I haven't asked for anything in years. And the reason why is because I believe God already gave me everything. He already gave me all the tools to cultivate whatever my mind wants to cultivate. And so I just spend that time now in gratitude, and it makes me think about my kids. It makes me think about you guys. It makes me think about a lot of things that I'm grateful for. And that's part of this process that's just so overwhelming sometimes as I go to these events. And I just, when a person cries in front of me, it's like, I know that tear. Like I've seen that before. Like that's real. You know what I mean? Like, how do you not embrace a person that's crying about what happened? Like your story resonated with their story. Here's the crazy part. Most people don't even know my story. They just feel my passion. And that's what makes them cry. But my story and their story resonates. And then when I tell the story, it's like, oh my gosh, no wonder why I was crying.
Makes sense. All right. So is there a book or person that helped you with the forgiveness? And on that same vein, is there anything you're doing for personal development right now?
You're not going to believe this. So I have this program that I created. It's called The Power of I Am. It's a 9-week personal development program. Actually, we just started yesterday. We just started a winter session yesterday. And it's 9 weeks. And in those 9 weeks was the steps I took. It's so crazy that I created this just from being in that dark time in my life. And I just put it all out into a program. And that's what it was. The best personal development book I ever read was the one I just created. What brought me from where I was to where I am right now. And I just documented. We had so many people sign up. The registration closed on yesterday. And I had like 30 emails. Like, can I get in? So I had to extend the registration till Sunday. But if they join this week, then they got to catch up on the call from yesterday. But basically what it is on Monday nights, like the first session was on forgiveness. So Monday nights is personal. This is about you, right? Kind of shared a little bit what I shared in that, what I did with you guys today. And then we go Thursday nights, our other live call. Thursday nights is how forgiveness applies to your business now. So Monday nights, personal. Thursday night is how it applies to your business. And then the next week is loving yourself. And the next week is the power of I am. The next week is make the shift. But anyway, each is two live calls a week. But the only book that I did read a while ago that was very, very influential to me was the Celestine Prophecy. You guys ever read that book? I'm probably going to email this guy because I'm telling you, I probably sold him 15,000 copies by now. I promise you. But look, bro, we got to talk. I need a pack of diapers. That's all I want is a pack of diapers. That's it. You don't have to give me no money. Just send me like a box of king-size diapers. No, I'm joking. But the Celestine Prophecy, this book is so powerful. And what I learned from it was the power of intuition. And intuition and self-love go hand in hand, y'all. You know, people say, like, my gut is telling me this and you don't listen and your gut was right. All this does is heighten your intuition. It makes you more present and more aware. And that book moved my soul.
I think I posted the link to your Eventbrite. Is that the right one? Do you see it?
Yep, that's it.
Because, you know, like the entire call has to go like sign up for that immediately.
Do you think that treating, hold on, what says, do you think that treating programs like different training periods is helpful? Is there a progression you suggest? That's a great question, Lori. That was a great question. So here's the only thing about, I just think programs is personal preference. And here's the key. Like when you love yourself and you start feeling, your body will tell you what it needs when it needs it, because you'll be in sync. You ever have like sometimes where you just have this thing like, I feel like I need to stretch. And you stretch and your body's like, thank you. You know what I mean? It could be like 7-minute stretch, but you feel so much better. Your body will talk to you. The only thing, and here's another reason why I didn't just want to create a fitness program. I wanted my program to be personal development also. So like in my coach test group, like what you guys got on this call is what they getting ready to get for 4 weeks. They're going to get the workout plus me pouring into them, because what good is it? One of the things I struggle with, and it breaks my heart, is when I see a person on a weight loss journey, they lose 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 pounds, right? They lose all this weight. They stuck to the meal plan. They worked out diligently. And then when I hear them say, when I look in the mirror, I still see the overweight person. What? What are you talking about? Look at what you've accomplished. They don't see it. You know why? Their body changed, but their mind never changed. And then they become obsessive with losing weight. Now, what was supposed to be a journey, something rewarding, celebrating new health, new vitality, everything has now become a curse, because they start getting into eating disorders and it just goes completely left field on them, all because their mind never changed. Does that make sense?
I see it all the time. I see it all. My little sister had gastric bypass, and she just became an alcoholic because
right.
She didn't actually she didn't become different.
Right.
And that's where she landed. So
yeah. So I have a person that came to my gym, right, and it just broke my heart. Had the same surgery, and they came in the gym first couple months. They were working out, and she was like, my belly is like the size of your fist. And I'm like, what? I couldn't understand how that happened. And she started breaking it down to like, this is interesting. And then because her mind never changed, she just took on all these crazy behaviors. And she never looked in the mirror and saw herself. So because she never saw herself, her spirituality just kind of got out of whack. She started chasing something that she had already became. And that's what gets people in trouble. When you chase something that you already have, you just a gerbil on a wheel. Just running around.
I have like 25 Chris Downing one-liners on this paper. Chasing things you already have. Tyler said, do you have any specific morning rituals that you do to set your days up for success?
Meditate in the morning, and that's when I do like my form of gratitude. And I always challenge myself, even if I'm tired, dude, when you come home tonight, you better be better than you left. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, you got to do something throughout the day, so when you come home and look in the mirror and you say, you know what, you had a great day. Someone asked me on a call, they were like, what do you do when you have a bad day? I'm like, I never have a bad day. Chris, everyone has a bad day. I never have a bad day. I might have a bad moment, But from what I've been through in my life, I promised myself I would never give a person or a circumstance that much power over my mind to have my whole day ever again. When I was a kid, my grandma, she always told me, she said, when you get older, I was 12 years old. When you become a man, I want you to give of your talents, give of your resources, give of your time, give of your energy, but don't ever give anybody your sanity. Because if you give them your sanity, you might not get it back. And I never thought that. So when I say I have a bad moment, that means, okay, I got to address this moment for whatever it is. And then I convince myself that whatever this moment is something I need to develop on the inside of me to overcome it. So I keep the responsibility on me. And when you do that, what was meant for bad, look at my past, ultimately turned out to my good. I didn't have a family growing up, right? I didn't have a family. I was adopted. So explain to me, if I didn't have a family growing up, I learned how to love myself, projecting my talents in the universe. Now I got a globe full of family. So what I lost, what I thought I lost, I really gained so much more of it. That makes sense? I got my childhood taken away from me, but I have beautiful kids and a bunch of other kids that look up to me. So you see what I'm saying? What I thought I lost, I gained so much more of it.
Had to write that one down too. Hey, Betty / Elizabeth, she said, is it an open coach test group? I don't know what she's talking about.
No, corporate set it up. Well, I think you have to have buy or sell a challenge pack, completion pack, or accessory bundle. And then that qualifies you for the test group. It starts next Monday.
Well, we'll all be buying our accessory bundles today. We'll see you there. Pretty much guaranteed. I don't see any other questions on here.
I have a quick question, real quick.
Go ahead.
Speaking of accessories, I was in a group, we did a high fat, low carb with you, Chris. I just need to make sure there's no playing cards as accessories, because we had to do some crazy stuff with playing cards.
No, I'm not going to do that. You know, that workout is brutal. It is. It is. I'm sorry. That was abusive. My fault. I had a moment. My fault. No, but that workout is killer. You know, on BOD, where the trainers have exclusives, always said if I had to film an exclusive, it was going to be a card workout. And she'll tell you, it's murder. It's murder. That's awesome.
That's awesome.
I have a question as well.
All right. Well, we can let you get back to, I was going to say get back to what you're doing, but that baby's just sitting there, so he doesn't care.
You have a question, Vanessa?
I do. So I'm an active duty Marine, and I go back to work on Monday following 3 months of maternity leave. And I just started working out last week. I'm a brand new coach, and I'm just having difficulty working out. So what advice do you have for me to strengthen my muscles around my C-section, and how to modify certain workouts and things like that? Because I feel like when I go back to work, I have junior Marines underneath me, and so I don't want them to be like, well, if my leader can't do it, then I don't have to do it type thing.
Right.
So I want to show my Marines that no matter what happens, if you're broken, if you break your foot, or if you go through childbirth, that you can still work out and be as strong as you can be. So what advice do you have, I guess, to try to strengthen those muscles?
I'm going to tell you right now, you got 80% of it right there, and that's mindset. What I just heard you say is that's 80% of it right there, which you already have. But if you want to like build your core, especially I tell all my C-section people, start out with planks. That's the best core exercise. It hits your whole core, right? You do as many planks as you hold this for as long as you can hold it. If you start feeling pain, just stop. But I would just start planking. I walk around the house and dropping a plank. I'm just like, don't do that. But I would seriously, I could see her walking around base and just stop out of nowhere and start planking. No, but I would do planks. I wouldn't really work on crunches right now because you want to hit your whole core region. So, front planks, side planks, and the other side, the 3 moves, and then do some hyperextension for your lower back, and you'll be solid.
Thank you.
Is that it? Everybody good? So we're going to start loving ourselves, right? That's right. No, is that a deal? And you're going to write down on a piece of paper exactly what you want from this moment forward. Mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. financially. You're going to write down exactly what you want in those 5 pillars. If you're a 5-figure coach and your desire is to be a 6-figure coach, when we get off this phone, you're going to start doing the duties of a 6-figure coach. Well, how am I supposed to do that? I don't have enough people. Cut your computer screen on. Act like you got 10 people on your Zoom call. Start inspiring them. Because before I could do a Zoom call and lead a workout, I was down here in my man cave, encouraging myself, speaking to spiders and ants and whatever else was down here. Because you got to become that person before you can live that person, that reality. But you got to project it in the universe for the people to show up. Physically, what do you want for yourself? Start complimenting it by putting those foods into your body.